Hi, this is Sue Ingram from Converse Well, and today I want to talk to you about how to handle anger in the workplace and in difficult conversations. And this is prompted by a difficult conversation I witnessed last week, where one of the parties was very angry about a mistake the other person had made. And although it got resolved, I don't think it got resolved as positively as it could have been. And there were actually some classic mistakes being made in that conversation. The first thing I want to say is that anger and angry conversations need to be communicated in our workplaces. Sometimes people feel that they can't talk about how angry they are over things. And if you can't talk about it, it doesn't go away. It simply goes underground. And you get passive-aggressive behaviour occurring where people are quietly seething inside but not actually saying anything. So they get their own back with little snipes and little games and little difficulties. So it actually creates more problems than it solves if we don't actually allow the expression of anger, respectfully of course, within our workplaces. So let's talk a little bit about why people get angry. People get angry because they don't feel listened to, they don't feel respected, they don't feel valued, they can feel frustrated, exasperated. And sometimes people can overreact to a small situation for two reasons. One, it's been building up for some time and they haven't expressed their anger in the past and suddenly it explodes. Or the incident triggers a painful reminder of some other unresolved issue. And again, they explode in anger over something that you think is quite small. But the trick here, there's clues in this all the way through about how we should respond to anger to have a more positive experience. The first thing is not to take it personally. Even if you are at fault, even if a mistake has been made and you're at fault, please don't take it personally, because anger is an expression of frustration and of not being respected and everything. And you need to let it run its course. You need to hear and respect that anger. In this situation, there was some intent listening going on, but the individual receiving the anger was actually wanting to leave the situation. He was backing out of it. Ever so slightly, his language, he was leaning back. Well, that doesn't work because people just lean forward in order to tell you, this is important, I want to share it with you. You need to understand what I'm saying to you. And he was saying, oh, I don't want to hear it. He was also saying that by his body language because he was covering his face with his hands and he's looking down at the floor. And he was kind of indicating in every way possible, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. Well, that adds fuel to the fire because anger is there because something needs to be heard. So, what do you do, despite it being very difficult? And I do get it because you can feel attacked in these situations. Remain calm, open body language, listen with curiosity. Really seek to understand what they're saying. Now they'll be ranting on about everything and you just need to say, you're feeling strongly about this. And they'll go, yes! Actually, you're quite angry, aren't you? Yes, I am. I'm really angry. Okay, so this is important to you. Yeah, got it. Notice you're not agreeing with them. You're not saying they're right, you're not apologising, you're not doing any of those things. You're simply saying, I get it. I'm hearing that this is an important message and you're angry. Now, when you do that, people can't remain angry for too long because there's no fuel, you're not feeding it. You're simply saying, I'm getting it. So eventually they'll go, they'll stop being angry because it's exhausting. And then you have an opportunity to summarise what you've heard. Okay, so from your perspective, what I hear has happened is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they'll go, yes, that's right. So straight away, You've heard them and you've shown you have. And of course, you can at any moment, at any time, at that moment when they're calm, say, can you explain a little bit more to me? I'm unclear. Is this happened or that happened? You know, so you can really, your whole thing is, I need to understand what's happened from your perspective. And when they've told you everything from their perspective, and you say, yep, I've got it. This is how you feel, this is what you think happened, everything. Then you've got permission to give your perspective in return. In this conversation last week, the individual was too quick to jump in and defend themselves while the other person was still angry. I think the phrase that was used was, there's no need to throw your toys out of the pram. And even though it was quite calmly said, actually, when you say that to an angry person, the response is, toys? You think you've seen toys? Let me show you toys. Doesn't work. The trick is to hear them, acknowledge that it's important, tell them that you want to know more about exactly where they're coming from. And when they've said it all and they're calm, then you can come back with, okay, from my perspective this happened, or my understanding of what happened is, or sorry, there was an error that was made and this is what we now need to do. Okay? Anger is so important. It's nothing to be frightened of, even though I know we do feel frightened when we meet it. Actually, there is nothing to be frightened of, especially when we take the time to respect it, honour it, hear it, and then respond to it. Hope that's been useful. Bye.